Hello wolves, musher, and all kind of forest spirits. I'm Slothastic and welcome to Actuali.TEA. On today's episode, we will get on the case of the recent movie based on Jack London novel called Of the Wild. This video contains a lot of spoilers. If you are not afraid of spoilers, or if you watched this movie already, you can continue watching this video. If you don't want to get spoiled because you want to watch this movie soon, I invite you to skip to another video. The story follows the adventure of a massive yet gentle St. Bernard Scott collie named Buck, living with his master, Judge Miller, in California. Buck is seen as the town's master, but also as a little monster due to how big and noisy he is. One night, the dog gets captured and shipped in the Yukon. During the trip, he is beaten up by a crew member as a sign of discipline. Once he arrived in the Yukon, he meets John Thornton, to whom he returns an harmonica. Then the dog is sold to Perrault for their dog sled to deliver mails across the country. With Buck, Perrault hopes he can finally deliver all mails before the deadline. This is how the massive dog is introduced to the other dog, including this vicious leader, a husky named Spitz. Throughout their travels, Bucks gain the loyalty and the trust of the other sled dogs, except for Spitz, who keeps hating on the new dog. It's during that time that Bucks begins experiencing ancestral, spiritual visions through a black wolf that acts as his guide. One night, the fate of the dog's sled changes. Buck plays and catches a rabbit, which he releases right after. But Spitz kills it before attacking Buck to assert his dominance. When Spitz seems to win, the rest of the pack suddenly encourage Buck, and the big dog succeed pinning Spitz down, displacing him as the pack leader. Spitz then disappears into the wild. Since no other dogs of the sled wants to assume the position of leader, Buck becomes the leader, and thanks to his speed and strength, Perrault succeeds in delivering all mails on time. Unfortunately, with the arrival of the telegraph, Perrault is forced to sell his dogs and to return to Quebec. It's how a mean-spirited and inexperienced gold prospector buys the pack and gradually works them to exhaustion, carrying a heavy load in weather unsuitable for sledding, forcing the dog to cross an unstable frozen lake. Buck refused to move and Hal threatened to shoot him. At that moment, Thornton appears and rescues Buck, while Hal forces the other sled dogs to cross the lake. Under Thornton's care, Buck recovers. One night, as Thornton was drinking at the saloon, Buck saved him from Hal, who came back to kill the old man. After that night, Buck understands what tragic event in Thornton's life caused him to fall into alcohol. Together, they decide to travel beyond the Yukon map, where they can freely live in the wild. They come across an abandoned cabin in an open valley and settle in. Meanwhile, Hal relentlessly hunts them in order to take his revenge on Buck and Thornton, and also believing the old man is hiding gold. During their time in the open wilderness, Buck is drawn to a female white wolf. Going back and forth between Thornton and the white wolf, Buck is conflicted by his domesticated life with Thornton and his place with the wolf pack that the females belongs to. As time passed, Thornton understands which life Buck belongs to and decides to return home, but the night before he would leave, Hal arrives and fights the old man. shooting him in the process. Returning a bit too late to save Thornton, Buck still managed to kill Hal by pushing him into the burning cabin. Before dying, Thornton reassured the dog, telling him he has to live for himself from now on and that he is at home now. The next morning, Buck returns to the wilderness. There, he mates and has offspring with the white wolf and becomes the pack's leader, fully embracing the code of the wild. My personal opinion on this movie is simple. It was amazing. Call of the Wild was really not a movie I wanted to see just because, to me, the trailers didn't seem so interesting. Plus, seeing this dog 100% made with computers and looking so unrealistic by the fact he could jump so high and so far was really not something that appealed me. I was certain it would be a bad movie. But since I love getting my own opinion on stuff before jumping to conclusions, I decided to watch it online and I really got surprised. It was far from what I expected. Buck, even if he wasn't played by an actual dog and looking too much like a fake animal like in The Lion King 2019, he wasn't as bad as I imagined. The movie is interesting, the dynamic is good, the characters are really interesting and well portrayed by their actors. I really recommend this movie to anybody who enjoyed adventurous films and films with animals and stuff like that. Now, while I was watching this, I really couldn't help thinking how much it looked like Balto movies. There are so many involuntary references to Balto that I really started to believe that Call of the Wilds was inspired by Balto until I found out it was actually based on a book. But let's see how much it looks like Balto. Balto and Buck, both names start with a B. Okay, it's not really a similarity, but I had to point it out, Balto and Buck are two dogs who get into dog sled when they don't actually have any experience, and together they will end up being the leader of their sled. By trying to save someone who falls into an iced lake, Balto and Buck will both almost drown by being blocked under the ice. Balto's rival is named Steel. He's a black and white husky, leader of a dog sled. Buck's rival is named Spitz. He is a black and white husky, leader of a dog sled. Buck has visions of a black wolf who acts like his guide. Balto has vision of a white wolf, his mother, who acts as his guide. Balto and Buck both lead their sled into an iced cave to go faster and save their pack. Balto believes he is a wolf, yet he is more a dog than a wolf. Buck believes he belongs with the wolves, yet he is a dog. Balto fights a bear. Bucks fight a bear. So far, it's the similarities I noticed for the two movies, and it's pretty much a lot in my opinion. Inspired from Balto or not, to me it doesn't really matter. Both movies are amazing, and I find it actually pretty funny to be able to link movies together. And it's how I got a theory popping in my mind. What if Buck was actually Balto's father? In the Balto movie, we never learn anything about Balto's father except that he was a dog, since Balto is supposed to be half wolf and half dog. Buck is a dog who joins a wolf pack. He mates with a white wolf and together they get half dog, half wolves, puppies. Balto's mother is a white wolf. So we can believe Buck could be Balto's father. Did you watch this movie? Did you like it? Did you feel like it sounded like a Balto movie? Let me know your opinion in the comments. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Give your biggest thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more actualities. Until then, guys, I'm gonna see you soon for another video. Bye bye and take care.